So I read this story a long time ago, but I just, or maybe I heard it. I think I actually had a CD, like a CD set that I was listening to all the time in my vehicle when that was back in the days where we had the little bitty shop and we couldn't even fit an air conditioner in the shop. So every single day I was going to Wichita to pick up equipment and then delivering that equipment, picking up the trash, taking it away. But so I had this CD set that I listened to all the time by Brian Tracy, and I'm reading a book of his right now, and he's talking about the hot button close. And what the hot button close is when you determine what it is that the customer really wants, or really likes, then that's your hot button, and you push on that hot button over and over and over again. So the example that he gave was a realtor, and they get up to show this house, and the lady says, "Oh, in the backyard there's a cherry blossom tree. We had one of those trees in my house in my backyard when I was growing up. Always loved that cherry blossom tree," right? So the realtor knows this now, and so he just kept referring to that cherry blossom tree. He's like, or whatever you call it. I think he says cherry blossom tree. He says, the husband's walking around and he's like, "Yeah, this living room is too small." And they go upstairs and, all these bedrooms are too small. And the realtor's there with him and he's saying, "Yeah, but you can see the cherry blossom tree it has a nice view of the cherry blossom tree out back, right?" And the realtor knew that the wife in this situation probably was making the final buying decision. And so the kitchen was maybe a little bit small, and the husband pointed that out. And the realtor was like, "Yeah, but right here, while you're doing dishes, you can see whoever's doing dishes can see the cherry blossom tree in the backyard." And they wound up buying the house. So it's the hot button close. Once you determine what it is that that the customer really wants or really likes. And so I talked about this on one of the meetings. If you guys watched the whole episode with me and Pete, is I didn't even realize I was using this, but I was on a call that turned into a bid, and I was going around every room and I was asking the questions. I said, "Do you have any hot or cold spots in the house, or which room in the house would you say would be the most uncomfortable?" And they told me, well, it's their kids' room. And they had like the big block letters, up above the crib. And he was a baby, a small kid, just a toddler, or even probably just a baby. I don't remember. But and they had his name, and I can't remember his name. Let's say it's like Braden or something like that. So I found that Braden's room was the most uncomfortable. That's because they told me. But the reason why is because it was like 120-foot square room, and it had one 5-inch register in it, which wasn't quite enough. So after measuring it and looking to see what it's going to take to upgrade the airflow to this room, all of it was possible, and we were able to do it. And so I used that at the close. I'm like, this is going to get Braden's room nice and warm. And then later I said, and Braden's going to stay nice and comfortable. So that was a hot button, and I was able to push on that hot button, and they purchased from me. But of course, I built good rapport and everything else. So the whole call went good. But so I can't say that was the only thing that caused the close, but it probably didn't hurt any. So what is the hot button? The only way you're going to figure that out is by asking questions. You have to ask questions to find out, to uncover what the true problem is. Or what problem that they're looking to solve. Because it could be a noise issue. It could be a hot or cold spot. It could be allergies, whatever. You're not going to know until you ask questions. So be sure to ask plenty of questions and really be curious as to what their problems are. And that's going to allow you to provide solutions. And when you can provide solutions, then you're going to get more sales. So give it a try, especially now. Now when it's really, really cold, it's not nearly as bad, just like when it's really, really hot. But before long, we'll kind of be in that mid in between seasons. And sales always become a little bit tougher during those times because the demand's not there. Like they don't need it right now. You know, when it's 70 degrees out, people don't need heating and air conditioning necessarily right now. So we have to find new ways to be able to create a little bit of urgency or to find hot buttons that keep them interested. So give it a try.